Alright, so today we're moving from one-step equations to two-step equations. Two-step equations. So the first thing you want to do when we're solving two-step equation is undo addition and subtraction first. You want to undo addition and subtraction first. Then you want to undo multiplication and division second. So what that means is, want to do undo addition and subtraction first. So I have 6x plus 1 equals 25. Alright, you want to work away from the variable first. That's why we undo addition and subtraction. So, if they added 1, of course we want to subtract 1 on both sides of the equal sign. On the left side and on the right side. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. 1 minus 1 is 0, so this cancels out. We're left with 6x on this side equals 25 minus 1, which is 24. Now we're down to a one-step equation. So we have 6x equals 24. 6 is being multiplied by x, so we want to divide by 6 on both sides. Because we do the inverse operation, we do the opposite of what they do. They multiply by 6, we divide by 6 on both sides. So 6 divided by 6 is 1. So we're left with x equals 24 divided by 6, which is 4. As always, we want to check to make sure our answer is correct. So the first step is to rewrite the problem. 6x plus 1 equals 25. Then we want to sub in our answer for x. So this is 6 times x, so we get 6 times 4 plus 1 equals 25. Then we have order of operation. You multiply first. 6 times 4 is 24. Bring everything else down. Then you have 24 plus 1 is 25 equals 25. So on the right side, you're just bringing 25 down each time. You're just bringing what's on the equal sign, the total. On the right side of the equal sign, you're just bringing it down each time. You do nothing to this when we're checking it. You're really just working the left side out to make sure that it is equal to the right side, because 6x plus 1 should equal 25, which means the left side should equal the right side. And now we see we get 25 plus 25, and that is our answer. That is us checking to make sure that 4 is our answer for the first one. So if you want to, you can pause now and try the next one. Pause now and try the next one. Alright, so now we have 4x minus 5 equals negative 33. 4x minus 5 equals negative 33. You want to undo addition and subtraction first. If I'm undoing addition and subtraction first, we have minus 5. So there's subtracted 5, then we need to add 5 on both sides of the equal sign. Add 5 on both sides of the equal sign. Negative 5 or minus 5 plus 5 cancels out. That is a 0 pair, which means when you add them together, you get 0. Or additive inverse. We're left with just 4x equals, then you have negative 33 plus 5, which will give you negative 28. Now we're down to a one-step equation. So after you do your first step on a two-step equation, then you're now down to a one-step equation. So now we have 4x equals negative 28. What is happening to that variable? It is being multiplied by 5. So you want to do the opposite on both sides. So that Then you will divide by 4 on both sides of the equal sign. 4 divided by 4 is 1, so these cancel out. We're just left with x equals negative 28 divided by 4 will give you a negative 7. And as always, we want to check to make sure our answer is correct. So, the first step in checking the problem to make sure it is correct is to write the problem again as it is. So that's 4x minus 5 equals 33. We're writing the problem as it is. Then we want to plug in our answer for x. So that's 4 times negative 7 minus 5 equals 33. 4 times negative 7 is negative 28 minus 5 is 33. Negative 28 minus 5 is indeed negative 33. Alright, so I know that my answer is correct now. Do not make a mistake I just did. I rewrote the problem wrong. I did 4x minus 5 equals 33. And it's supposed to be negative. So make sure you rewrite it right, correctly. Alright, number 3. We have 8 equals 15 plus 1/3 n. Yes, I know you see the fraction as a coefficient, but we still do, okay, the same thing. Alright? So here, we have 8 equals 15 plus 1/3 n. Alright, so what is happening to this 15 and this variable? It is being added. Alright, so we want to do the opposite and subtract 15 on both sides. That way, this 15 minus 15 is 0. It'll cancel out. The point of doing this is so that we can get a 0 pair. We're left with 1/3 n, and that equals 8 minus 15, which is negative 7. All right, now you might want to pay close attention here, because it's different when there is a fraction as a coefficient. All right, so because it is a rational coefficient, we want to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So we're going to multiply this side by 3/1. And we're going to multiply this side by 3/1. And just to bring this out on the side, 1 times 3, 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. So it gives us a 1. So that's how these two cancel out. Okay? That's why those cancel out. Because when you multiply them together, they'll give you 1. So now we're left with n that equals negative 21. Because 3/1 is the same thing as saying just 3. So it's 3 times negative 7. And of course, we always want to check it. So we rewrite the problem as it is first. 8 equals 15 plus 1/3 or 1/3 n. Alright, now we want to sub. 8 equals 15 plus 1/3 times negative 21. We do multiplication first. 1/3 times negative 21 will give you negative 21/3, which is negative 7. So we got 8 equals 15 plus negative 7, which will give you 8. Now, you can try number 4 on your own. So I have negative 1/6 x minus 3 equals 2. Negative 1/6 x minus 3 equals 2. So I want to undo addition and subtraction first. So they subtracted 3, so I want to add 3 on both sides. You can't do it on this side and not the other side of the equal sign. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. This cancels out. I'm left with negative 1/6 x equals 5. This is a rational coefficient, which means the coefficient or the number attached to the variable is a fraction. So I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. It's negative 6 over 1, or just negative 6. This cancels out. So I have x equals negative 30. And of course I have to check it. It's negative 1/6 x minus 3 equals 2. Negative 1/6 times negative 30 minus 3 equals 2. Negative 1/6 times negative 30 is 5. And minus 3 equals 2. And 5 minus 3 does equal 2. Just a few more examples. We have negative 15 minus b equals 44. Now this one is a bit different, all right? Now it appears that negative 15 is being subtracted from b. So we want to make a zero pair. And there's two ways to think about this. If negative 15 is being subtracted from b, then we know when we have these two signs together, that really means to add. Okay? So you can look at it that way, or we know we have to make a zero pair. So if we wanted to cancel out this negative 15 to leave b by itself, if we do minus 15, then that's going to give us negative 30. And we do not want that. So in this case, we need to add 15 on both sides of the equal sign. Now we added 15 because this will cancel out. Negative 15 plus 15 is 0. Now we're left with just the variable. Okay? So now we have negative b equals 59. However, we're not finished. The variable here is negative. And of course, we know that it is an understood 1 in front of every variable. It's an understood 1 in front of every variable. So this is negative 1b equals 59, which still makes this a two-step equation, because if they multiply by negative 1, we need to divide by negative 1. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 is 1. So we have b equals negative 59 is our answer. If we wanted to check it, rewrite the problem. Negative 15 minus b equals 44. Negative 15 minus negative 59 equals 44. We put this in the calculator. 1, 5, integer key, minus 5, 9, integer key, equal, we get 44. Now, I want you to try number 6. All right, now, pause it. Now, so for number 6, we're going to do the same thing. This negative 4.3 minus n, so if I subtract it, it's still going to be here. So I want a zero pair. So if this is negative, I need to make this positive and add on both sides of the equal sign. This cancels out. I'm left with negative n equals, this is negative 2.2. Alright? Still not my answer because my variable is negative. So I need to divide both sides by negative 1 because it's an understood 1 here. And then I will get 2.2 equals n. Now, if I wanted to show my work, how do you show your work? What is the first step? On every problem, I've said that the first step is to rewrite the problem first, just as it is. So there's negative 6.5 equals negative 4.3 minus n. Then you want to submit your answer. Negative 6.5 equals negative 4.3 minus 2.2. Once you subtract these, you get negative 6.5. So we know this is the right answer. All right, one more example, last one. We have 4 minus 9c plus 3c equals 58. All right, so here we see a problem because this is not simplified. You cannot work a problem if it is not in the simplest form. So we have to combine like terms. So our like terms here on this side of the equal sign is negative 9c and plus 3c. So we need to combine those first. So that'll give us 4. Negative 9 plus 3 is negative 6c equals 58. So the only thing we did was combine like terms to get started with the problem. Alright? Now, here, 4 is on the outside, right? Which means if we add 4, it's going to give us 8. So we cannot add 4. We need to subtract 4 so we can get a 0 pair. So that's 4 minus 4, which will give us 0. Subtract 4 on both sides. So we get negative 6c equals 54. Alright, and I'm just going to bring it over here so you can see it. And if you divide both sides by negative 6, c equals negative 9. Now we want to check our answer. You do not have to start here. You can actually start here at the step where you simplified. Alright? So that is 4 minus 6c equals 58. 4 minus 6 times 9 equals 58. You do multiplication first, so that's 4 minus 54 equals 58. Oh, happened again. My 9 should be negative. My answer was negative 9, so this should have been positive. 54, alright? 58 equals 58. And that's how I know that is my answer.